Hello and welcome once again to Art Attack. On today's program, we're going to be taking a look at the celebration of Chicano art going on in San Francisco. Also be spending some time with some of the staff here at Art Attack. They've compiled a pile of stuff, and we'll be doing that throughout the show. Now we're going to start things off with a look at and a listen to the Blazing Redheads. Did that work? Did that work for you? Is that okay? Mm-hmm. Yeah, we saved some money too, I think. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The Blazing Redheads, and they have just released an album called Crazed Women. I have a copy of the CD right here with me, and with us in the studios, we're honored to have three Blazing Redheads with us. Thanks for coming by.
Sure.
The CD was released very recently, in June, was it?
Yeah, in June.
And this is, well, right off the bat, I've got to ask you, the Addams Family, whose idea was it to cover that? That's, that's a great cover, really. It's something that you've always wanted to do, I would
Not really. It just sort of came to me in a dream.
Yeah.
Came to me in a nightmare. Yeah.
And how long have you been together now as the Blazing Redheads?
About 5.5 years.
Yeah. And what brought you together? What musical interests did you have in common that you decided you could put something together as a group?
Well, it was an accident, actually. We didn't plan it. Danielle was playing in a band.
Swing Shift.
Swing
Gotta
Shift.
plug Swing Shift.
Mm-hmm. And Claudia and I were playing in a group called Group Sax. It was a saxophone quartet. And the drummer was playing in another group called Leperset, which I was a part of. And we had a gig. Well, we didn't even have a gig. Swing Shift had a gig at La Peña, and
We needed somebody at the last minute, literally. And I don't know how it all goes, but everybody called everybody else, and we put it together and did 2 rehearsals, and then we did the gig.
We learned like 6 songs, enough to do 1 set. And we just threw it all together. We had enough for 1 set. That was it.
But there was something in those 6 songs that you knew was...
No, we had no... It was a one-night shot, just a bunch of friends to fill in, and it just took off from there.
Yeah.
No plans.
Is it difficult to come to consensus to put together an album like this or a CD like this when you have so many different people with such diverse backgrounds?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but we really didn't have that much trouble.
What?
I mean, this is our 2nd one. I think that went smoother in some ways. And
Yeah.
Well, after having been together for a while, you probably got the system down a little bit. You know how you work together best, and so...
Well, one of the things I really like about this group is that we do come from a lot of different backgrounds, and we kind of put it all together, and so everybody's musical expression gets to come out one way or the other. So it's not like there's one style that we do. We do lots of styles.
It's kind of a rare opportunity to have an all-women group playing like this. Is it? It's got to be refreshing for you to be able to do that. I mean, a lot of times to play the kind of music you want to play, you're going to have to be like, it seems to me, the one woman in a group of all men. So it's got to be, it's unusual, and it's got to be refreshing for all of you to be able to play together.
yeah, it's great. And I think it's important for people to see women instrumentalists. There's a lot of great musicians in the Bay Area, female musicians, and I mean I did a show the other day, and I walked in, and this guy answered the door, and he goes, "I just want to tell you," he goes, "when I first got your tape, and I thought, oh, all women's jazz band," he goes, I thought, what does this sound like, and he liked it, he put it on, but it's kind of a double-edged sword,
Yeah, we're always exceeding people's low expectations.
we have to pass the test first.
Yeah.
When people come to see us and stuff, we have to kind of play a few songs, and then they realize, oh, this is good. This is, it's not.
So does it make it easier for you or more difficult for you?
Both.
Both.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. Because people tend to, when they see all women, it's a novelty. I mean, it is a novelty. But then on the other hand, we're not a novelty. I mean, we don't really consider ourselves a novelty.
No, and certainly if you were to put it on, put the CD on, since it's instrumental, there would be no way without looking at the names or the pictures
Right.
there. And so a live performance is one thing, but to listen to the music is another thing. So obviously we have 3 Blazing Redheads with us here in the studio, and as I promised before we get started, I won't even ask you why you're called the Blazing Redheads. Okay. But there are others involved in the band. Who besides yourself?
Well, there's usually 6 people in the band, and let's see, Michelle Gerlitz, who's a percussionist, and Patricia Tumas is playing the piano, and Jan Martinelli has been playing the bass with us.
What's coming up for the Blazing Redheads? What's the next step?
We're going to be heading out on a national tour in about 3 or 4 weeks.
Where will that take you? All over the country?
This one, I think Chicago,
East.
New York,
If you're
mostly
New York,
east.
We'll end up in New York.
Okay, well,
East
that would be a good
Coast.
reason to fly east. It's really hot out there right now, too. So.
Yeah, it will
Fly?
be more in like September-ish.
Fly? No, we get in the bus and we go, huh? Okay. Well, have a good trip. And thanks a lot for stopping by and continued success.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for having us.
Thank you.
The Blazing Redheads here on Art Attack.
Very interesting. Very.
Hi. You know, I'm still waiting for my big break in show business, and I think one thing I need to do is get some publicity stills of myself, but this is a pretty low-budget operation, so I thought if you don't mind, I'll take a moment here to try it. Yeah. Well, you know, we thought on this program, as I said earlier, that we'd get some of our crew involved, and the gentleman who's running the camera right now, as a matter of fact, Rick Villaroman, put together a little art break. So we're going to take this opportunity to turn the camera around and show it to you. This is an art break from Rick Villaroman. Butchered your name. Hope you don't mind.
Man, it's hot down here. I sure could use a drink.
Budweiser, when you want to quench a monster of a thirst.
And now, behold the villain of my tale. The killer, the man-eater. The assassin who first brought murder to the jungle clans. Shere Khan, the tiger. It is said that in his first kill, when he was kin to some poor Abel of the glades, when he ran from the scene of his crime, the trees and creepers whipped him with their branches and striped his yellow hide with the mark of Cain. This evil lord must have his dish lickers, his bullies for attendants.
Well, granted, you know, a professional could maybe have done a better job, but we got a pretty low budget here, and I'm pretty satisfied with this. I think as a publicity still, I can get a lot of work with this picture here. You're watching Art Attack, and going on in the city right now is Chicano Art celebration, and a big part of that is going on at the Museum of Modern Art, and that particular production is called Chicano Art Resistance and Affirmation. We were out there recently, and we checked it out, and why don't you come with us and take a look.
This is what I call a caja, or a box, and I wanted to bring up some of the traditions of Mexico, the ofrendas, the altars, the niches that you find sometimes along the roadside. Sometimes the ofrendas are made up for the Day of the Dead, and sometimes the niches you see in restaurants where they decorate it with the Virgin of Guadalupe, and they all have a religious base to them.
Here at the museum, we have the first showing of the CARA exhibit, the Chicano Arts Resistance and Affirmation exhibit. And this is a really significant national exhibit that not only shows the roots of the Chicano arts movement in the country, but also chronicles a lot of the Chicano civil rights movement, which happened simultaneously. It includes not only paintings, sculptures, drawings, but it also includes different artifacts, historical papers, photographs. Many of them are as artistic as they are historical. Chicano is specific to the bicultural, bilingual people who generations of after the first immigrants from Mexico to North America would fall under that Chicano term. But a lot of Latinos, for instance myself being born in Peru, I might not necessarily be considered Chicano, but I strongly associate my thoughts with Chicano thought, because it is a way of understanding the biculturalness of my experience and also my particular political beliefs. One of the real strong characters of Chicano thought are always the political perspective that is present there. And also, I'd say, humor, the use of humor to make you think about what you're looking at, to make you think again about certain political ideas or even artistic ideas. Those are real strong characteristics of Chicano art. One of the best things about the Cara exhibit is that it's being presented in institutions that normally would never include Chicano artists. And I think the place that the institutions are really showing a significant change is in going directly to the people who have been around the longest. It's not to import work from Latin America, which could be equally significant. It's not to import work from Africa, which again could be very significant. But it's to begin with the Chicanos, the Latinos that have been here all this time. The exhibition here really shows the roots of it. It stops in 1985, and there's been a lot of work since then, and a lot of work which yet has to be done. So it's always evolving. I'm not exactly sure which way we should go.
A celebration of Chicano art will be going on in the city until August 25th, and a highlight of it is going to be a family day that's taking place at the Mission Cultural Center on August 10th, and a highlight of that day will be an appearance by Carlos Santana. You're watching Art Attack, and a staple of this program over the years has been our People on the Street segment. But a lot of people do that, and we decided that it was time to try something a little bit new, and this is our opportunity to introduce that to you. So here it is, our new segment. It's called Humans on the Road.
Step back in here. Spontaneity is the critical element. Hi. Okay, let go, let go.
Make. Got some saliva there on your microphone.
Great, perfect. More like this? Okay, if you lean too far forward, it's going to block the light on my friend here.
What's the question again?
Hello, hello. Got to hold on, to your love.
He's also a drummer.
I like to play with my house, and I like to catch the bus with my mommy, and I like to move.
Hey, look this way. Look,
and I like
look at that guy with the mustache.
I like to play with my mommy.
I'm supposed to be getting a paper route. They haven't called me back yet.
Okay, the question again is. Okay.
Wait, and my mommy forgive me, and my mommy, hey,
Yo, 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 in the Mission, Boy Art Attack Humans on the Road segment has now become Humans in the Park. Today's question, what do you like to do in your spare time?
What's the question again?
As was stated earlier, we're taking an opportunity on this program to feature some of the work of the people behind the scenes at Art Attack, the people who operate the cameras and who build the sets. And this particular piece is a public service announcement. It was produced by the woman who's operating Camera One right now, Joyce Lerner. And it stars our own Derry Logan, floor director, and a guy who pushes a mean dolly. This is all about recycling.
Are you squirming around in your seat because you're thinking about all those cans, bottles, and newspapers stacked up outside in the trash can? Well, I've got news for you, folks. Not only is it easy for you to recycle, but there's also a lot more stuff that you throw away or want to get rid of that can be recycled. Take a look around. You know about the obvious: paper, aluminum, and glass. You know, experts suggest that we use our leftover materials, everything from grass clippings to apple cores, as compost. But let's get out of the garbage for a minute and talk about using potential recycling items that are lurking aimlessly around your home. Why not recycle them? For instance, don't you get sick and tired of those same old goldfish that just don't die? Well, good news. The whole setup's recyclable. First of all, use the water to nourish your plants. You know, the best fertilizer is the most natural. The rocks can be returned to nature as well. Bring them with you the next time you go to the beach. Cast them back into the source. Nature will say, thank you. The bowl can be recycled along with the rest of your glass products, and the fish can be recycled with your compost along with any leftover fish food. Sustenance for the earth at its best. Hopefully I've shed some light on alternative ways for you to recycle. If you're not doing so already, how about starting now? Nature loves you. Isn't it time you return the affection? Save a planet. Your own.
Huh? All right, here's some more video.
Boy versus girl. World Series of Love. Tell me, have you got the look?
You walked in, I woke up. I've never seen a pretty girl look so tough, baby. You got that look. Color you peach and black. Color me taking her back. Crucial. I think I want you.
Sally, how are you doing this morning? Not stressed. Roger, Betty, Rachel, I'm gonna go get some coffee. I'll be right back, okay?
I've only got one thing to say. That tie does not go with that outfit.
Check out the door.
2211 en route. To headquarters. Code 4. Situation has been abated, but I have a little problem here.
2211, are you alright? For headquarters. Just a little diarrhea.
When you can't be bothered by common diarrhea, reach for the best, Septo Burpo. Coats, soothes, relieves.
Works for me.
Well, that does it for another edition of Art Attack. Thanks a lot for joining us. I want to thank the Blazing Redheads, and I want to thank all of our staff and crew here who helped us put together this program. And I want to thank you, the home viewer, without whom this show would be nearly impossible. Oh, did we hit something? Oh, sorry, we got to go. Talk to you later, bye. Careful, whoa!